Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Isn't it wonderful to come together and to enjoy some of our past in music? And I will put on the microphone right away. Some people, okay. I'd like to call Murray forward to introduce us with the candles and the light of the Creator to remind us of our purpose. Murray? And as she's lighting them, please feel that light within you being lit and generating that energy to so many others in the world.
You know, it might be a little bit warm in here.
The body,
Just an
mind,
hour or two.
and spirit. What a wonderful gift. Could we stand now for the invocation and the first prayer? Brooke, could you say the invocation, please?
Dear Lord, come together, and we are very thankful for each and every one that you have put on this earth to help find their way back to community.
Could we join together in saying the Lord's Prayer, please? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. It's my pleasure, though, to officiate today and to be part of this beautiful group. We're all together, and as you see, I pull some surprises like I did with Beryl. She was totally unaware that I was going to ask her to do that. Now, I have the pleasure of introducing you to your pastor, who you know very well, but maybe not the way I do. But this man is truly works for the Creator in his own way. And I've known him always to defend the weak and those that need help, no matter what their situation is. So without further ado, here's Steve Atkins. You're limited as to time, you know, Steve.
Change around here with the sound systems. They're actually recorded and sent out on the internet. You see some people, for the new people here, you see name tags on some of the people. That just means that we've agreed to have our names known. It doesn't mean that nobody else is friendly in the church. It just means that we've decided to put our names out there so you can walk up and talk to us. This portion of the service is where I, through my past week, have had something occur to me in my life and had a spiritual revelation of some kind or a resonation with a spiritual principle that I try to bring into my life. This past week, I guess a lot of it has been just figuring out how to listen to God, and we all hear that all the time in our lives. And it was shown to me through several incidences that happened to me this week. I went out to get my vehicle, and as you all know, I have great luck with vehicles. So I bought a truck that's supposed to be one of the most dependable in the world, and not a single one's in the junkyards. So I bought one of them, and I go out to start it, clicked it over, clicked it again, and just last week I had a battery problem, so I got a battery in it. This week I tried to start it and it wouldn't start, and I got in a rush. Instead of letting it wind down from the first bump, I hit it again real quick because I was in a hurry, and it quit working. It sounded like it jumped a chain, timing chain, which is major on an engine. And those things, I look it up on the internet and it says it's a lifetime installation, a sealed unit, and should never go bad. So, but what I found, make a long story short, I got my brother-in-law down, we looked at it, and it wasn't quite as bad as we thought it was, and it got fixed pretty easy. But while I was waiting for him to come down, I could have been frustrated, I could have been angry, I could have been upset. But what I did was I backed up and I saw that God spoke to me to relax, and I was frustrated in a hurry, and that's what caused the problem. Not my bad luck, not my discord with mechanical stuff, but my hurriedness, my frustration and my being in a hurry, not taking time to be relaxed and feel God in my life before I began the day's events. So what came to me, you know, we always look for God to speak to us in these blinding flashes in the middle of the traumatic situations in our lives, save us, drag us up when we're drowning, these kinds of things. So we know that it's God speaking to us, but God speaks to us in the littlest ways in every moment of our lives. God is concerned about everything that we do every time we do it. Every breath we take, every motion we make, God's inspiration is there. God's grace is there if we take time to feel it and let that thought come to us. So that's what was revealed to me. I stopped looking for tremendous changes in my life to be God's doing. It's one action at a time, it's one thought at a time, it's one breath at a time, and it becomes natural to you after a while. It no longer needs to be asked for or sought after. It becomes a natural, rhythmic, breathing part of your life when you look for that touch, feel that presence of God. And that's what my spiritual discipline teaches me to try to embrace, is that naturalness of God, that in the moment of God, not the save me when I'm in deep trouble type of thing, beseeching God. That's good to do that too, but if you feel that presence, if you feel that every moment that you can feel it, those traumatic incidences tend to be a lot fewer and far between. We're never going to avoid all the traumatic incidences in our life. We can lessen them greatly, but we're not going to avoid all of them because some of them are put there and they're indispensable to our spiritual development. So we have to meet some of them with that faith of God, but a lot of them, like that truck, we can avoid if we take time, feel the peace within us as we go throughout our day. Thank you.
Our service is comprised of three parts: the healing portion, the inspirational lecture, and the demonstration of spiritual gift. We will now begin the healing portion of the service. So could the healers take their place, please? All those interested in receiving hands-on healing, please take a chair at the side of the room or in front of the healers. When you hear the chime, the seat with the healers will be vacant for you to use. The rest of us will participate in the healing meditation led by myself, Reverend Robert Johnstone. Do not move to step 5 until, okay, sorry. But please remain silent while the meditation is on and the healing's going on. We'd appreciate that very much. So if you take some nice deep breaths, place your feet firmly on the floor, and place your body firm and comfortable in the chair. Allowing your head to be relaxed, your whole body. Your spine firmly against the back of the chair. Visualizing the wonderful beauty that's within, the beautiful soul that you have. Feeling that still small voice at this time, releasing all tensions and pressures, and just feel the wonderful gifts that Spirit gives us. Whatever situations are going in your life at this time, please leave them aside as I ask you to see within you the beautiful colors of creation. Allow yourself now to see the aim. That was your original creation. And to see the color red. Visualize the warmth of that. Your beginning, your start in life. An opportunity of a new start today. Just feel the gifts of life. As we begin to see the spinal column forming, we see the color orange and the gifts of plentiful harvest, the gifts of thanksgiving, the gifts of food, food nourishing our body. I truly feel these gifts at this time of those material things that are necessary to bring us to the next stage. The stage of receiving courage, and the color yellow. Feel the beautiful gift of the sunshine, and the forcefulness of our being, as we feel that color yellow, allowing us to release any stress, allowing us to correct things in our lives, to give forgiveness, to open up. And allow yourself now to move on to the next color as you feel the being growing and the wonderful gifts that you have within you. As we see the heart and the beautiful color green. That healthy green of nature, allowing you to feel that love within you, allowing you to feel the self-love, the importance of radiating that love to others, and to feel that wherever you've been, you've learned those lessons, and that love today is generated to all those that perhaps you've felt you've harmed or challenged, and just see that love now pouring out to them. What a wonderful gift of love and relationships to experience your family at this time. And those on the other side of life, perhaps mother, father, husband, experience that love now and feel it. Feel it connecting with all that are around you. Feel it connecting with the world. Our politicians, our ministers and priests and rabbis, and all those who teach us to love and to understand. You see that color green now magnifying as we begin to see the color indigo blue with a beautiful gift of communication. How we can share our wisdom, our knowledge, and especially our love. Feel the gift of communication. Communication not only with our own spiritual being, but with our Creator, to express the beauty and love of life. And let us go now to the third eye. As we're now connecting with the universal force that allows us to see each other, within each other, that beautiful gift of spirit and love of understanding. It's our security and our safeguard. protect us from those that maybe are not on the similar paths and wish to change us. Allowing our third eye to protect us, our listening. Take a moment now to see that third eye and see, feel the warmth in the center of your forehead. As we're almost complete now, the growth of that spinal column and of the new you, allow yourself to see the top of your head, the crown chakra. It's in a beautiful light, color of white or gold or purple. And feel yourself receiving the spiritual gifts, the love of the Creator. As again today you've created that perfect being that He wants you to be, with love and light and understanding. Truly perfection. Take a few moments now and see yourself whole, healthy and well, and especially the perfect being. As we prepare to come back from the universe and the heavenly forces, to see the color gold or white, and see that the crown chakra closing, allowing you to keep this energy and the full force of the Creator. As we move to the third eye, and we feel the gifts of the third eye. As we move to the third eye, the color is purple. We see the throat chakra now, and the indigo blue. And we experience the beautiful gifts of communication. As we move down now to the heart, we see the color green. The gifts of healing, the gifts of love, and the gifts of relationships. As we move down to the solar plexus, we see the color yellow, the beautiful gift of healing and being able to ward off stress, allowing us to feel the wonderful gifts of being on an earthly plane. As we move to the stomach, we see the color orange. We give thanks for the food, the protection, the necessities of life. As we move to the final chakra, and we see the color red, and that connection with family, loved ones, and friends, as we prepare now to come back into our natural bodies and truly experience the gifts that we have as unique individuals working in the Creator's world. And as you come back, just feel with each breath, you're connecting with the whole being that has wonderful spiritual work to do and spiritual understanding to share with your neighbors and friends and loved ones. And each prayer you send out connects with that higher force. Father, Mother God, we thank you for bringing forward the wonderful gifts of the Spirit. And each individual here today, we ask you to surround them with your light and love, and to protect them, and to keep them on the earthly plane, and remembering them that their soul is what is connected to the universal force. We give thanks. Amen. Again, I'm back here to introduce somebody that I always have trouble introducing. because I don't know what to say, because he's always so perfect in what he does. And I sincerely mean that. This man has files and files of cabinets, of papers, of a way to proceed with a wedding ceremony or a funeral or whatever it is. He's got it all filed away, and he pulls it out when it's time to do the formality. An excellent friend of mine, I'd say probably that here we're probably the trio, the three angels. I have Steve, Dr. Thomas, and myself. I like to feel that we have that kind of a connection. So this morning, Dr. Thomas first said, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And then I gave him some suggestion. He said, I know what I'm talking about. But that's my love with Sagittarius. They always work out that way with me. Because they'll ask for a suggestion and they say, I know, I know. And so, without further ado, here is the great Sagittarian of the People's Church, Dr. James W. Thomas. Okay. You got it.
Bob, I got it.
Tell us about your jewelry.
Never mind about that. I forgot. I had it all laid out this morning to pay you $300 for being my chairperson today.
You didn't bring the money?
No, I forgot.
Thanks a lot. Let's see, finish.
Thank you. Good morning, giving honor to our pastor, Reverend Steve. It's a pleasure to be here, as always. I don't know how many of you feel that you've been on a whirlwind this year. Raise your hands if you've been on a whirlwind. Here it is, it's December, and the last time, it seems only like a week ago, it was December. So, you know, there's a lot of reflection and things going on in this planet right now. And I think back because I forgot. Hanukkah usually comes at Christmas time. This year, it's 750 years that this will never happen again at the same time. So can you imagine how we speeded up 750 years to have Hanukkah celebrated at Thanksgiving? How many have seen this star, or whatever you want to call it, in the planet?
The comet?
It's in the southern hemisphere. It's so bright, the United States government has called it Venus. The United States government just called it the other day a bright star. How many were here 365,000 years ago when we had two planets in the heavens? You remember? I remember. All of a sudden somebody said to me, do you remember when we had two suns in the sky in the heavens? And I said, yeah. And I thought back and back and back, 356,000 miles ago. Well, it's all come back. This sun has come back to Mother Earth. I would like to read from Exodus, or Revelations. Chapter 8, verse 10. And the third angel sounded like a trumpet, and there fell a great star from the heavens, burning, as it were lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the 14th of waters. What it means is, that star came to earth to purify the waters. And it's coming back again to purify the waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. Now I know Ken back there knows another name for the star, correct?
Maybe.
What's the other name for it?
I'm not sure where you're going here.
You're not sure, okay. And the third part of the waters became warm wood. And many died of the waters because they were made bitter. Okay? And the fourth angel sounded. And the third part of the sun was smittered. And the third part of the moon. And the third part of the stars. So as the third part of them was darkness, and the days alone, not for a third, but part of it. And the nights were likewise. It was prophesied in Revelations about this star, and there's been other names given to it recently. And what it is that we are speeding up. We are speeding up so fast that we don't realize. Just like I asked you, how many feel that you've speeded up this lifetime? I talked to a mother this morning. Her son is 11 years old. He has 3 years of college already behind him. And he's going to graduate when he's 15 years old. And he'll have 4 years of college behind him, and he'll be graduating from college. So, not in my day did that happen, and probably not in any one of our days did that happen. But what's happening is that the children today are smarter than ever than what we were at that age. So I look around and say, okay, where are we going? What is our lifespan? Years ago, our lifespan was only 50 years old. How many in the room is 50? I mean 50 or older. How's that? Lorraine, you're not 50 yet? Oh, you did. Okay. So what I'm saying is, if we look back and look at how old some of us are. Rose Ellen was the first person I ordained here in Florida in 1972.
No, it's 80-something.
80? Okay, 1980. I lose track of time. So what has happened is everything is speeding up. So I'm saying to everyone is to take time and enjoy every moment that we have on the planet. A lot of things are coming back of our forefathers. Kathy Quick goes back to ancient times with her yoga, her mantras, and that. Albert goes back thousands of years for the first time of yoga. So each one of us are doing something in this lifetime from the past. A lot of things are coming up and surfacing in our lives. Many of us are remembering our past lives today that we didn't remember 25 years ago or 30 years ago. But it's all surfacing right now in this age. So you've got to be aware of the energies. You've got to be aware of where you are on the planet. We all know that we're only here, one thing that we're here for, and that is our main purpose is to express God. Because each one of us are God manifested in His image. So think about yourself. We create everything. If I want you to come into my energy field, See, I let him come into my energy field. I let people in here come into my energy fields. But we do not have to allow anybody that is negative to come into our energy field. Do you understand? What does negativity do?
Drains your energy.
Drains your energies. Takes away your life force. So the most important thing in this whole gamut is to keep up. And remember that I and my Father are one, He and me and I and Him. That you are God manifested in His image. And that you don't allow any of this negativity to come into your vibration. When you walk through the portals of this room, you come into a very loving rate of vibration. It has to do with Ashton usually greeting you at the door. It also has to, when you walk in, you see Steve and his smile. And it emanates nothing but true love. With our piano player, she produces love. The most important thing is to produce in our daily life more love. Whether it's love for ourselves, because you can't love anybody else until you love yourself. And as soon as you love yourself, then you start thinking, okay, I'm the temple of the living God, so I better start taking care of God. So I'm on a big kick now. And the kick is your pH level. All right? And to keep your pH level, it's 7.8 or 7.6. It's not too high, not anymore, because every one of us is walking around with one big disease, whether we know it or not. Every time you mention the word cancer, you produce it within your own self. And if you don't keep your pH, I've worked with over 50 people this past year with cancer. And as long as I keep their pH at 8.6, both saliva and urine, they are in remission. This has been my research. And the research is going fine. So I'm going to do another class, probably here or someplace, on how to keep your pH level high and what to eat and what not to eat. And it all depends on you. Do you want to be the temple of the living God, or do you want to let your bodies deteriorate? It's not, you're not too old, you're not too young, but it's something that we have to think about. And this is my bandwagon recently, is keeping your pH up, eating a lot of green vegetables, doing a lot of green drinks. Bob, every time he has a reading, he hands everybody a package of green drink to take home and say, now get on this. So he's promoting the bandwagon.
And you're giving my stuff in too.
Oh,
I wanted to speak to you about
but I'm the one who told you all about it.
Okay. Not the past.
So now he's on the bandwagon. So the more people that we get on teaching everybody about their own pH and helping your other friends and relatives, what's going to happen? We're going to be healthier. We're going to keep up our energies. We're going to be totally healed, body, mind, and spirit, because one of the most important things is get people who have cancer is to get their thinking changed and to get them into a positive rate of vibration. So all of these things come into play in our own spiritual growth, our own spirituality. We're on a bandwagon. We're here to help humanity. I've been doing it ever since the early 70s. Somebody told me the other day I was her mentor, and I got very upset about it. Because I've never looked at myself as being a mentor. And then she says, you're also my spiritual father. And I says, how can I be your spiritual father? All I do is get up and teach and help people along their spiritual pathway, like Steve does. There's never been a day that's gone wrong between knowing Steve for as many years as I've known him that he hasn't helped somebody on their spiritual pathway. Don't come to me. Go to Steve, please. But this is how it works. Rose Ellen all the time is helping people on their spiritual pathway and getting them to be positive. Marty is also another one in this room. Ken is another one in the room that keeps everybody trying to get them positive. Ashkin, especially with her meditation. When are we having our book signing thing?
When we get the
In
book?
in 2 weeks probably.
In 2 weeks. Okay, I have something to say to everyone that's in this room, and that is a few people that I know have not had a candlelight Christmas Eve service. The last one I did in Casadega was 2009, where everybody came in and had a candle. And and Ronnie and Alan, you all know Ronnie, were my two musicians. Well, this year, and you're all invited to come to Bridget's Shangri-La in Casadega. And that, if you got my newsletter, and whoever doesn't get my newsletter from IAM, because we are the parent organization for Steve's church, give me your email address and your name and that before you leave, or give it to Lorraine. Lorraine is going to be voted in as our new treasurer. I'm praying that she gets voted in as our new treasurer. She's also Steve's treasurer, so we're going to keep it all in the family, Steve.
She's just a treasure.
But we will have a candlelight Christmas Eve service on the 24th at 7:30 in the evening in Casadega. So it's not my doing. I'm not in charge of it. Burl is the speaker because she's the one. You're going to speak?
Lawrence is speaking.
What are you doing? You're running the church? I mean, you're running the service? You changed it all around on me? I have to pray a lot now. Well, whoever, one of the two are going to be part, they're both going to be part of the service. I know that because they're in charge. But, so we welcome everybody to come to our Christmas candlelight service in Casadega.
Oh, is the service going to be in Casadega?
Well, that's where the Shangri-La is.
Oh, that's,
Shangri-La is,
Technically, it's not.
it's actually in in Lake Helen.
Like hell.
Yeah, it's in Lake Helen, all right?
It's just behind the Universal.
It's right next door to, the street is right next door to Bridget's Well, off of Casadega Road, or 4139. So you're all welcome. So you got to remember this. First thing we have to remember is, fear not, because there is no fear. 365 times in the Bible it says, fear not, for I am always with you. So once we realize that God is manifested in us, and that God is our protector, then why should we have no fear? Why shouldn't we keep the temple of the living God in perfect health? And somebody said to me the other day, they said, how come you didn't keep your body in the temple when you went through 7 operations in 2011? Then I finally realized something. And somebody else said to me, Murray Gates says to me, she says, you know, I think you paid off all your past karma by going through all those operations and all the things that happened to you in 2011. 7 operations, and here I am again. So to me, I feel like I was reborn again because I'm out doing God's service again. And that's what it is. It's all keeping themselves positive, keeping in the moment, and remember that we are right here, right now, at the right time, saying and doing the right thing. Thank you, and God bless you.